Who's going to win the debate? Tim Walz, Coach Walz, v Couch Boy. It's going to be one for the ages, and I'm super excited. Starting at 6 p.m. Pacific tonight. I want to go over, I was looking at some things to watch for the debate, some habits of candidates and some facts about them, and I want to take you through it. So first of all, JD Vance, right? I was watching previous debate clips of his, and he's very combative. Right? He can be combative. He can go straight at you. And I think that's should be one of the goals, is to get JD Vance into that combative state. Tim Walz needs to push and push and push him, right? And show people the real JD Vance. Make him be combative, right? And Tim Walz is that down home, everybody's dad, Coach Walz, everyone's high school football coach that we all know and love. And that's the guy he needs to be, the guy who's been fueling his debate prep with Diet Mountain Dew and loves to talk about dog parks in Minnesota. We love that Tim Walz. He needs to be that guy, but also make his policy points, show that he understands the issues and hit those points, right? We love the down home guy as long as he can also talk policy. And this goes to Vance being combative. If Tim Walz can push him into being that JD Vance that gets combative in debates, then JD Vance goes low, right? He gets super personal. Once again, this is a mics on debate. Mics on is a choice that could go wrong for JD Vance. So if Tim Walz can push him and get him to go personal when defending himself, that's what we want. We want people to see the real Couch Boy when he is rattled, right? But, Walz is the down home guy. Let's keep that in mind, but also super tough, right? There, I was watching debates of him, and you don't accuse Tim Walz of being a liar. He will come back at you. And come back at you tough. So I think that's what's important. He wants to be, that's the thing about Minnesota nice, right? You're nice, but with an edge. You're nice, but bless your heart, don't try me, And I think Tim Walz walks that line very well, and that's what the American people want to see today. They want to see, hey man, that reminds me of my high school coach. And that guy was tough, and that guy knew his stuff, and that guy was a leader, right? So that is what we want to see for Tim Walz. Now, again, the reason I keep saying we want Tim Walz to push Vance into being combative, into losing his cool and getting personal, is because what JD Vance is really good at, right? This guy is a Yale-educated lawyer. He goes on Sunday morning political shows all the time and calmly tears them up. And I hate to say that. I don't like him personally, but he's great. Great speech and debate format, great, understands lines of logic, can calmly pivot. This guy can have some of the most controversial issues brought up and thrown in his face. Hey, you said this horrible thing about women. And he will calmly, right, say matter of fact on the most controversial issue and pivot. And you want to get him out of that rhythm. We don't want him to be in his comfortable rhythm. Now, here's something super important for Tim Walz, right? Because he's this every guy. He's everyone's football coach. He's everyone's dad. Adopt me, Tim Walz, P.S. But what we want, what he also does is compromise. He is a unifier. So what we want to listen for Tim Walz to make the point of is, JD Vance, all you do is poke holes in things. All you do is talk about what's wrong with things. Where are your solutions, right? Take what JD Vance did in Springfield, Ohio. Was saying a bunch of misinformation, disinformation, all sorts of things, never with a solution to a problem. And Tim Walz is the guy in the middle. Tim Walz is the solution guy. And that's how you want to look for Tim Walz to position himself. I have solutions. This guy just has problems. Did you ever have a boss that said, hey, don't bring me your problems, bring me your solutions to your problems? So that's, if I would say a successful debate for Tim Walz, is that distinction. I'm the guy with the answers. This is the young guy that likes to complain, right? And let's see. I think it's important for them to distinguish their backgrounds, right? Like their biographies, how they both came from the military, clear up. I think we'll see JD Vance come at Walz about possibly misrepresenting his military background, all of these things. Obviously, JD Vance and like the cat lady stuff, the Springfield stuff, at one point trashing Trump stuff. There's many things in each of these guys' past that they're going to probably at some point have to clarify and make the case for, And so if they can effectively do that, say, here's stuff that people want to know about my past, and here's how I'm going to effectively explain it and move forward, each candidate is going to have to do that. So this has been under 6 minutes of what to watch for in the debate. But I think most importantly, we want Tim Walz to be that everyday guy, but also that coach that you knew meant business, that you knew was intelligent, that you knew was going to lead you down the right path. That coach that has solutions to problems, right? And if Tim Walz can successfully show that difference, that he's the guy with solutions, then Tim Walz wins.